What makes life truly worth living? For decades, psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi studied this question and discovered a remarkable answer. Happiness is not found in money, comfort, or even relaxation. It comes from being deeply engaged in what we do. He called this state flow, the feeling of complete immersion in an activity, where time fades, focus sharpens, and effort becomes effortless. In Flow, the psychology of optimal experience, Csikszentmihalyi reveals how flow works, why it matters, and how we can cultivate it in everyday life. In this summary, we'll explore the key lessons of his work and learn how to live not just a longer life, but a richer one. Chapter 1: The Secret to Happiness. Csikszentmihalyi begins by addressing a central paradox. Many people have more wealth and comfort than ever before, yet they are not happier. External rewards often fail to satisfy us for long. Instead, lasting happiness comes from how we experience life, not from what we have, but from what we do. Flow is the key. When our skills meet a meaningful challenge, we lose ourselves in the moment and gain deep satisfaction. Happiness, he argues, is not something that happens to us. It's something we create through attention, effort, and engagement. Chapter 2: The State of Flow. Flow is a psychological state where action and awareness merge. In flow, people are completely absorbed in what they're doing, whether it's playing music, painting, climbing a mountain, or solving a puzzle. Key features of flow include intense focus on the present moment, clear goals and immediate feedback, a balance between challenge and skill, a loss of self-consciousness and a sense that time either speeds up or slows down. Flow is deeply rewarding because it stretches our abilities just enough to keep us growing, without overwhelming us. It transforms ordinary activities into peak experiences. Chapter 3: Conditions for Flow. Csikszentmihalyi explains that flow does not happen by accident. It arises when certain conditions are met, blending structure and challenge with personal engagement. To enter flow, an activity must have clear goals that direct our attention and provide a sense of purpose. It must also give immediate feedback, allowing us to adjust and improve as we go, keeping us fully connected to the task at hand. Most importantly, the challenge must match our skills. If something is too easy, we grow bored. If it is too difficult, we feel anxious and overwhelmed. Flow exists in the delicate balance between the two, where we are stretched just enough to grow without breaking. In this balance, concentration becomes effortless, distractions fade away, and we feel a sense of harmony between what we want to achieve and what we are capable of doing. Chapter 4: Flow and the Body. Flow is not limited to intellectual or creative pursuits. The body itself can be a gateway into this state. Physical activities like sports, dance, martial arts, or even long walks can draw us into flow because they demand full attention and a harmony between movement and awareness. When athletes talk about being in the zone, they are describing flow. Every movement feels precise, effortless, and natural, as though the body and mind are perfectly synchronized. The body becomes a tool of expression and discovery, showing us new limits of endurance, grace, and strength. Even simple actions, gardening, cooking, or swimming, can become immersive when approached with focus and care. Csikszentmihalyi emphasizes that the body is not just a vessel to carry us through life. When used with intention, it becomes a source of joy and meaning, opening the door to experiences that can transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. Chapter 5: Flow and the Mind. While the body can carry us into flow through movement, the mind offers endless possibilities for immersion. Activities like reading, writing, solving problems, or playing music challenge our intellect and imagination, inviting us into a state of deep concentration. When the mind is fully engaged, distractions fall silent, and thoughts align with the task at hand. Csikszentmihalyi shows that mental flow does not require grand achievements. A person can experience it while working on a crossword puzzle, learning a new language, or even engaging in thoughtful conversation. What matters is the balance between challenge and skill, where the mind is stretched just enough to spark curiosity and growth. In flow, the mind becomes sharper and more alive. We feel not only more capable but more connected to the present moment, discovering satisfaction in the very act of thinking, creating, and understanding. Chapter 6: the loss of self-consciousness. One of the most striking aspects of flow is the fading of the self. In ordinary life, we are often preoccupied with how we appear to others, worried about mistakes, or burdened by self-doubt. But in flow, this inner chatter disappears. The task absorbs all attention, leaving no room for self-consciousness. Rather than diminishing us, this loss of self feels liberating. We stop evaluating ourselves and simply exist within the experience. Musicians lose themselves in their music, writers in their words, athletes in their movements. The self returns once the activity ends, but it often comes back stronger, refreshed by the discovery of what we can achieve when freed from constant self-judgment. Csikszentmihalyi notes that this temporary disappearance of the self is not an escape from reality but a deeper engagement with it. By forgetting ourselves, we actually expand our sense of identity, connecting more fully to the task, the moment, and even to life itself. Chapter 7: Time Transformed. Another hallmark of flow is the way it reshapes our sense of time. Hours can pass in what feels like minutes, or moments can stretch into eternity when we are fully absorbed. This altered perception happens because our attention is completely consumed by the activity, leaving little awareness for the passage of time. Artists may work through the night without realizing it, and athletes may describe a single play as unfolding in slow motion. In flow, time bends to the rhythm of the experience, no longer measured by the clock but by the intensity of engagement. Csikszentmihalyi emphasizes that this transformation of time is not just an illusion. It reflects how deeply the mind and body are aligned with the present. Flow gives us a taste of timelessness, reminding us that the richest moments of life are not counted in hours or minutes, but in the depth of our immersion. Chapter 8: The Autotelic Experience. At the heart of flow lies what Csikszentmihalyi calls the autotelic experience. The word autotelic comes from the Greek for self and goal, meaning an activity that is done for its own sake rather than for some external reward. When we are in flow, the activity itself becomes the reward. This is why artists continue to paint even if their work is never shown, why writers fill journals that no one else may read, and why athletes push themselves in training when no audience is watching. The joy comes not from recognition or payment but from the sheer experience of doing. The autotelic experience is powerful because it frees us from the endless chase of external rewards. It reminds us that meaning is not always found in outcomes but in the process itself. In living this way, even ordinary tasks can be transformed into sources of satisfaction, so long as they are approached with focus and presence. Chapter 9: Flow in Work. Although many people see work as a burden, Csikszentmihalyi reveals that it can be one of the richest sources of flow. Unlike passive leisure, work often provides the very conditions that make flow possible: clear goals, structured challenges, and immediate feedback. When these elements align, even demanding jobs can become deeply satisfying. A surgeon in the operating room, a teacher guiding a class, or a craftsman perfecting a detail can all experience work as a state of immersion where skill and challenge meet. In such moments, work ceases to feel like labor and instead becomes an act of creation and mastery. The tragedy is that many workplaces strip away these conditions, reducing tasks to repetitive routines that drain engagement. Yet when designed with care, work can provide not just a livelihood but a steady stream of flow experiences, offering people meaning, growth, and even joy in their daily lives. Chapter 10: Flow in Play and Leisure. Leisure is often thought of as the opposite of work, a time to rest and recover. Yet Csikszentmihalyi points out that many leisure activities fail to bring true satisfaction. Passive entertainment, such as endlessly watching television, rarely creates the deep engagement that defines happiness. Instead, it can leave us feeling empty and restless. Flow in leisure comes when we actively shape our free time. Playing music, engaging in sports, gardening, or pursuing hobbies requires effort and attention, but that effort pays off in immersion and fulfillment. Unlike passive activities, these pursuits offer challenges that spark creativity and concentration, allowing us to return from them not drained but renewed. The lesson is that leisure is not about escaping effort but about directing it toward activities that enrich us. When we approach play with the same focus we bring to meaningful work, it becomes a powerful source of flow, turning free time into one of life's greatest gifts. Chapter 11: Flow and Relationships. Flow is often seen as a solitary state, but Csikszentmihalyi shows that it can flourish in relationships as well. When people are deeply engaged with one another, sharing ideas, playing music together, or even working toward a common goal, they can enter a shared flow where the boundaries between individuals blur. Conversations that flow feel effortless, filled with energy and connection. Time slips away, and both people leave feeling uplifted and understood. Families, friends, and teams can all experience this collective immersion when attention is fully given and goals are aligned. Relationships enriched by flow become stronger and more meaningful because they are not just about exchange or obligation but about shared presence and growth. In these moments, love and companionship transform from mere companionship into co-created experiences that leave lasting joy. Chapter 12: The Making of Meaning. In the final stage of his exploration, Csikszentmihalyi turns to the role of flow in giving life meaning. Happiness, he argues, is not found in possessions or external rewards but in the quality of our experiences. Flow offers a model for how to shape those experiences so that life feels purposeful and fulfilling. When people fill their days with activities that challenge them, engage their skills, and bring immersion, they naturally create a sense of meaning. Life becomes less about avoiding pain or chasing fleeting pleasures and more about building patterns of experiences that bring growth and satisfaction. Meaning is not something we stumble upon, it is something we construct, moment by moment, through the choices we make and the attention we give. By seeking flow, we do not escape life but embrace it more fully, turning ordinary existence into an ongoing work of art. And so, flow, the psychology of optimal experience, leaves us with a simple yet powerful truth: life's deepest happiness is not something we find, but something we create through the way we focus our attention. Flow is the art of living fully, where challenge and skill meet, where time fades, and where meaning is built in the very act of doing. If you enjoyed this journey into the science of happiness and the pursuit of fulfillment, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others who love exploring big ideas. Your support helps bring more thoughtful summaries and meaningful stories to life. Stay curious, stay engaged, and keep seeking those moments of flow in your own life.